Good day, it is July the 27th, and today we'll continue in Judges 14, doing verses 12 through the first part of verse 14, and Proverbs 27. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. That's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whichever you like. Begin, Judges 14, starting at verse 12. Samson said to them, "Let me tell you a riddle. If you solve my riddle during these 7 days of the celebration, I will give you 30 fine linen robes and 30 sets of festive clothing." 13. But if you can't solve it, then you must give me 30 fine linen robes and 30 sets of festive clothing. All right, they agreed. Let's hear your riddle. The first part of 14 says, he said, out of the one who eats came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. Okay, this is basically a festival for the wedding. It lasts a week. Technically, they're already married, but they ain't going to consummate the marriage until the end of the week. So, they're married, but they can't do anything. So they're having a party all week. And now he's telling them a riddle. The 30 companions, who are not his choice, by the way. Samson said to them, "Let me tell you a riddle. If you solve my riddle during these 7 days of the celebration, I will give you 30 fine linen robes and 30 sets of festive clothing." Now this is a fortune. Linen is very closely woven and is very expensive, and the fine festive clothing, obviously, it's also expensive. So yes, this is very, very expensive. If you have one set of clothing or 2 sets of clothing in those times, you were considered rich. And now he's saying it in such a way, in a moralizing, pompous manner. Like, can you guess? I know something you don't. Trying to sound intelligent, but he's actually coming across condescending. So yeah, he's not endearing himself. Verse 13, but if you can't solve it, then you must give me 30 fine linen robes and 30 sets of festive clothing. All right, they agreed. Let's hear your riddle. So if they lose, they're practically going to be naked. Though Samson might not be, remember, he's among the elite. And first part of 14. So he said, out of the one who eats, comes something to eat out. Comes something to eat. Out of the strong comes something sweet. This is in poetic form. We will find the answer later on. Not tomorrow, I don't think. Proverbs 27. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what the day will bring forth. You can't guarantee your next breath, much less what tomorrow or next year is going to bring. 2. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth, a stranger, and not thy own lips. Don't toot your own horn. 3. A stone is heavy and the sand weighty, but a fool's vexation is heavier than they both. 4. Wrath is cruel and anger overwhelming, but who is able to stand before jealousy? 5. Better is an open rebuke than love is a sin. Better to be told you're wrong than not know that you're loved. 6. Faithful are the wounds of our friend, but the kisses of an enemy are importunate. Sometimes I can say that word, sometimes importunate, which means fake. They look to be real good and friendly, but they're really deception. I think Judas in the garden, he was giving him a kiss of greeting, but he's actually giving him a kiss of betrayal. Whereas a friend will cause a needed hurt. 7. The full soul loathes the honeycomb, but the hungry soul, every bitter thing is sweet. When you're full, nothing looks good, and when you're starving, everything looks good. 8. As a bird that wandereth from her nest, so is a man that wandereth from his place. 9. Ointment and perfume rejoice the heart, so does the sweetness of a man's friend by a hearty counsel. Good, godly counsel brings joy. 10. Thy own friend and thy father's friend forsake not. Neither go into thy brother's house in the day of calamity. Better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. Yeah, if your brother's far off, hey, help will become a long time coming. 11. My son, be wise and make my heart glad, that I may answer him that taunteth me. 12. A prudent man seeth evil and hideth himself, but the thoughtless pass on and are punished. 13. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger. Hold him and pledge that is surety for an alien woman. Yeah, if you're going to co-sign a loan, get security or get collateral. That alien woman can be man or woman. Usually means right here in this case, sweet talker, con artist, smooth talker, a player. 14. He that blesses his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it shall be counted to a curse to him. 15. A continual dropping in a very rainy day, and a contentious woman are alike. He would hide her, hideth the wind, and the ointment of his right hand betrayeth himself. Yeah, they're so obvious you can't hide them. 17. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. 18. Whoso keepeth a fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof, and he that waiteth on a master, his master shall be honored. Do your work, you get what's coming to you. 19. As in water, face answereth face, so the heart of a man to man. As you see yourself in a mirror or in the water, so you see yourself in someone else's heart. 20. The netherworld and destruction are never satiated, so the eyes of a man are never satiated. You can't get enough. 21. The refining pot is for silver and the furnace for gold, and a man is tried by his praise. Yes, you're tried sometimes more by your praise than your adversity. With your praise, you start thinking, oh, I am all that in a bag of chips. I didn't know I was so good. 22. When thou shalt braise a fool in the mortar with a pestle among groats, yet he will not foolishness depart from him. Yet you can't convince a fool he's a fool. 23. Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flocks, and look well to thy herds. In other words, know what you have. For riches are not forever, and doth the crown endure unto all generations, because you may not have it tomorrow. 25. When the hay is mown and the tender grass showeth itself, and the herbs of the mountains are gathered in, the lambs will be for thy clothing, and thy goats for the price of a field. And there will be goat's milk enough for thy food, and for the food of thy household, and the maintenance for thy maidens. In other words, you do all your work at the proper time in the proper place, gather it all in, and you will have enough to cover your bills. I hope you've been blessed by this reading. May the Lord richly bless you. Remember, if you'd like to be tagged when I post these videos, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, or anything else, you may reach me through 810-242-2997. That's 810-242-2997. You can call, text, leave a message, whichever you like. Remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I.